It's pretty common for people to live beyond their means these days, and that can really mess with their finances. With all the online shopping and easy access to credit cards, it's so easy to spend more than we actually make. And because everyone's doing it, we kind of overlook the fact that it's putting us in risky situations and keeping us in debt. But because it seems normal doesn't mean it's smart. Spending more money than you actually have puts your finances at risk immediately. It can cause you to increase your debt, struggle to pay your bills, and could leave you with nothing to save or invest. So watch out for these 6 warning signs that indicate you're living a life you may not be able to realistically afford. Number 1, no emergency fund. Emergencies can be anything from a medical crisis to a car accident to a job loss, and they are unexpected expenses that are bound to happen. It's just a matter of what and when. When that time comes, you'll need cash to handle it. Without an emergency fund, you'll be in a tough spot, but people living beyond their means often overlook this. If you've been learning about money, then you already know that an emergency fund is important. But if you don't know how to assess if living beyond your means is affecting your emergency fund, here are just a few things to check. Your emergency fund can't cover at least 3 months of expenses. You're not consistently setting aside money from each paycheck for emergencies. You don't have an emergency fund at all. So it's important to take a hard look at your spending habits, figure out where you're slipping up, and start fixing these money mistakes. Not everyone can save a huge chunk of their income every paycheck, but aim for putting away 5 to 10% until you can contribute more. Stick with it for a year and you'll be amazed at how much you've managed to save. And as your income grows, try not to grow your expenses in the same proportion. That way you can avoid lifestyle inflation and will allow yourself to increase your savings percentage. Number 2, high credit card debt or loan debts. Credit cards can be handy for building credit or even earning rewards, and they can be incredibly useful in a pinch. But too often, we rely on them to buy things we can't really afford, and that starts to affect our financial well-being. Before you realize it, you're carrying a balance month after month, a clear sign that you're spending more than you can handle. Even if you're keeping up with monthly payments, chances are you're still using that card and piling up more debt, facing those dreaded high interest rates. To get back on track, try making double, triple, or even extra payments each month. Stash away that credit card until you've got a solid debt repayment plan in place and have your spending under control. And next time you're tempted to splurge on something pricey, ask yourself, can I pay for this in cash right now? If not, leave that credit card tucked away and save the money. Number 3, no budget or idea of how much you earn and spend. A budget is the foundation of your personal finances. Without it, you're pretty much setting yourself up for failure. People who don't bother with a budget usually have no idea where their money's disappearing to each month. They're crossing their fingers and hoping for the best instead of actually planning for it. Having a budget or spending plan gives you a clear picture of where your money's heading each month. It helps you see how much you earn, how much you spend, where you can trim down, where you need to beef up, and lets you track your goals with a good idea of when you'll reach them. If you're overspending and trying to avoid facing the reality, you'll likely steer clear of making a budget altogether. Avoiding a budget typically leads to behaving recklessly with money. This is a circle, an endless one. If you're just starting out with your finances or need to make changes, then having a budget is a crucial start. At the very least, it will tell you if you're overspending, but on the other end, it can help you get to your goals faster by showing you what to focus on. Number 4, not saving for your future. We get it. Not everyone can stash away cash for retirement immediately, especially when you're just trying to make ends meet and put food on the table. For those people, this point isn't for you. But if you're jet-setting off to expensive vacations, constantly upgrading your gadgets, or cruising around in a fancy car without a dime saved for your future self, then you are living beyond your means. Treating yourself and enjoying your money is not a bad idea, but you must be taking care of the essentials, like having an emergency fund, investing, and saving for retirement. Once you've got the basics covered, then sure, go ahead and splurge a little on that high-end restaurant experience or book that dream vacation. Now, we're not here to dictate how you should spend your money, but saving for your financial future beats the fleeting satisfaction of material possessions or a vacation any day. The point is to learn to prioritize your spending wisely. We suggest setting up a separate savings account and squirreling away a percentage of each paycheck. Consider an individual retirement account where you can put money away up to a limit. If your employer offers it, put money into their sponsored retirement accounts and try to meet the match if possible. Your future self will thank you. Number 5, low credit score. Think of your credit score as your financial report card. It shows how responsible you are with money. Lenders check it to decide if they'll give you credit and what interest rate to offer. Scores go from 300 to 850. Anything over 670 is typically considered good, and 800 or more is excellent. But if your score is below 580, that's not good. It could make it tough to get credit, and if you do, you might end up with not so great interest rates. Having a score like that could be a sign you're stretching your finances too thin. Maybe you're piling on more credit than you can handle, or missing bill payments because there's just more going out than coming in. Either way, a score like that could probably deny you access to credit at a fair rate. Sure, nobody wants to dive deeper into debt, but imagine if your car breaks down tomorrow and you need to get to work. Without savings or access to credit, that's a huge headache. Luckily, increasing your credit score doesn't require any crazy actions. Pay your bills off on time, don't open any unnecessary other lines of credit, and strive to pay off your debt. Doing this over time will increase your score. Number 6, housing costs too high. Sometimes we jump into commitments that strain our wallets more than they should. Owning a house has been part of the American dream for decades, but in recent years, it has become incredibly expensive. When it comes to buying a house, don't just take the bank's word for it on what you can afford, crunch the numbers yourself. And yeah, I know, math can be a pain, but this can be the difference between living comfortably and foreclosure. It's advised that for your total housing costs, for both renting or owning, aim to spend no more than 25 to 30% of your monthly income, and the lower the better. Doing this allows you to have flexibility. If you find that all you can do is pay for all the house stuff, then you're what we call house poor. This term typically describes individuals who spend large portions of their incomes on home ownership to the detriment of other things like saving for retirement, emergency funds, or investments. This is also a clear indication that you're living beyond your means. Owning a house should not be damaging to the other facets of your financial life. So, what should you do if you're living beyond your means? First off, don't panic or stress out. It happens to the best of us. Acknowledging the situation and wanting to make a change is the first big step toward better financial health. It's not always easy to admit there's a problem or to take action to fix it. But we've got some simple steps you can take if you find yourself in this situation to help you get back on track and live within your means. 1. Make it a priority to align your spending with your income. This will require a budget. Sit down, print out your bank and credit card statements, and look over the last 3 months of transactions to get an idea of how your money is flowing. 2. Look for ways to cut costs, like canceling unnecessary memberships, negotiating lower bills, or using coupons. Remember, this isn't permanent. This is just to get you back on track. 3. Consider downsizing your living space, selling belongings you don't need, and being more mindful about what you purchase. Now, we understand downsizing your home is easier said than done, but it doesn't necessarily mean selling. It could mean renting rooms out to make some additional income. 4. Set goals and track your spending. What gets measured gets managed. In order to make changes to your financial life, you need to know what's going on, and you do that by tracking your income, expenses, and anything that changes. 5. Increase your financial education. If you're in debt right now, it may feel overwhelming and impossible, but as you increase your financial literacy, you'll often get suggestions and ideas on how to make more money, how to decrease expenses, and even how to partner with professionals who can help you better your financial standing. These steps require a shift in mentality and patience, but they're actionable steps to regain control of your finances. Thanks so much for watching. If you learned something new today, share it with a friend. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.